You're tuned in to the Art of Self-Reflection, your weekly dose of inspiration on navigating your self-discovery journey. I'm your host, Desiree, and today's topic is going to be on breaking generational cycles. And before I talk about the topic, I really want to open with a moment of gratitude and just share something that happened this morning around just moving in obedience. So my boyfriend usually leaves for work at about 3 a.m. and I couldn't fall asleep when he left. So about 5 a.m. I'm still tossing and turning and I heard something say, write what your thoughts are. So I pull out my phone and I began writing, and it ended up forming this beautiful piece, just really talking about the power of our words. And I didn't think much of it until later in the morning around 8:30. I received a text from my father, and he sent it in the family chat with the caption, Desi, you're on the right path. And right above that caption was a YouTube video from one of his favorite motivational speakers, Myron Golden. And Myron was literally talking about the power that our words have. And in that moment, I couldn't help but to just give thanks for God taking the time to show me that there is power in my words and to keep using my words as a vessel to inspire those around me. So just a moment of gratitude for obedience, moving in it, and then the confirmations that God sends us along the way. So jumping into today's episode, breaking generational cycles. And I know some of us like to call it curses, and we've kind of mystified it into something bigger than what it actually is. And I really just want to break down what a generational cycle or a generational curse is in a simple form. That way we can start putting the action behind breaking them. So, just like every other thing around us, everything is cyclical. Everything has a pattern, right? We have our seasons, we have the stock market, we have our body and the changes that our body goes through. Generational cycles are no different. They are literally the patterns of behavior that are repeated among a lineage. And it can look like anything from people dealing with substance abuse, women being hyper independent, never getting married, the cycle of poverty and financial instability that just keeps getting passed on to generation and generation, or even something as simple as division among the family and one side not speaking to the other side. But whatever that cycle is, it is important for us to identify it, because once we can identify it, it is in your hands to break it. And when I say break it, I'm not saying go out there and save the world and tell everyone, oh, you have this pattern that you're repeating and you have to do better. No. When I say break it, I mean you need to become aware of it within yourself. How does it show up in your world? And once you can identify how it shows up in your world, it is your responsibility to stop doing that behavior. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, because most things are not. But once you have a level of awareness of the behavior, you simply have to work on self. And when you work on self, you will notice that everything around you begins to shift. Your world shifts, your opportunities shift, the way people speak to you shift. Everything around you has to get in line with the new vibration that you are currently on by you deciding to work on self and break a cycle. And then the beauty of that is it then trickles down into your lineage, right? Both past and future. Because now your family members are looking at you and they're noticing your change in behavior, and it becomes an inspiration for them to change their behavior. And then when we look at the future, you now have a new way, a new pattern to teach your future children this new behavior. Thus, you are breaking a generational cycle. So I hope you enjoyed that. I don't want to keep you guys too long because I try to keep these short, sweet, and impactful. But before I leave you, I do want to share the piece that I wrote this morning about breaking generational cycles and the power of our words. I think it's really fruitful, just really getting to the core of what is behind these generational cycles. So I hope you enjoy. Generational cycles, curses. There is power in your words. Sometimes a simple I'm sorry can save us from generations of damage. Too often hurt goes mute, grows into years of not speaking, filled with resistance and distance. Symptoms include low self-esteem, lack of trust, loss of self-worth, cyclical thoughts, chronic depression, clinical anxiety, unregulated nervous system, unfamiliarity with love, and untapped potential rooted in fear of moving forward. All drowned by a steady rotation of Dr. Bottle, Dr. Blunt, and Dr. Bed, or whatever vice feels nice in your life. This is your reminder. There is power in your words. I urge you to release the hurt, release the shame, release the blame, and replace it with one thing: forgiveness. You don't need permission to be free. And in my favorite words from Thames, that is the peace that you cannot buy. And remember that it is okay to cry. It is a form of release. So just release the hurt. In whatever form it may look like, whether it's picking up that phone, writing that letter, just have the conversation, because there is power in your words. And the hurt ones you keep in get passed on to your next of kin, which becomes an original sin, and that is how the cycle just happens again. Poem. So that's the piece that came to me this morning, guys. And I really hope that it resonates with you. I hope that it inspires you to take a moment and break whatever cycle or whatever pattern you are in right now that is not in your best interest. And I just want to leave you with focusing on yourself, working on yourself is a powerful tool. It will change the world around you. If you want to see a different world, be that different world. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you found it fruitful, I ask that you like, share, leave a comment, share it with a friend, please, who you think will find it of value, because it's time for us to start sharing these messages with those around us so that we can truly see the world that we would like to live in. Till next time, peace.